from the Fox 5 studios, this is the RebZone Sports Show.
In the red zone. Yeah, they've been able to score each time inside the 20. Chance here to get 6. And they do. Perfect strike from Brumfield. Connects. And the touchdown is there. Steve Jenkins got it, and the Rebels have the lead.
There's no moral victories. They know that. We're over that. And moving forward through that. I'm proud that they've got that mindset now. They see it. They feed it. We want that win. And so we got to go away and find it. And we're disappointed.
I love all my guys. Saturday we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but we did pretty well as an offense and executing and everything. And I just feel like we got some big strides to take still as a team, and this team is still very young, so it's a lot of growth.
And the redshirt freshman slings it to the outside, complete. And there's Collins in space, jetting down the field. Tyreek Collins gonna take it to the house, and he'll pose a little bit on the way in. 80 yards for the score, and the Rebels stunning the crowd here in the Dogs to start half number 2.
No moral victories for the Rebels, but Coach Arroyo says his guys are headed in the right direction. And I think we saw that last night on Friday night in UNLV's falling game to the ranked Bulldogs. We got a lot of good to unpack with Coach Arroyo tonight. We'll be sitting down with Giovalu and learning more about his story and how his life has changed in his past 6 years at UNLV. And we are cranking out some of the best features I've worked on. We shadowed UNLV's sports dietitian Nicole Kiley this week and got to see all her hard work and how she fuels the Rebels. Very, very cool to see all the science and data that goes on with fueling the Rebels and them performing at their best. And I may have already taken out my cowboy boots for San Antonio next weekend. Just a little excited to be back in the Alamo Dome, and I'll tell you why coming up. But first, let's check out the highlights from Friday night's thriller in Fresno. After the Rebels defense forced the Bulldogs to punt on the opening drive, the sophomore quarterback Doug Brumfield burst out onto the scene. Brumfield finds Steve Jenkins in the end zone, and the Rebels are just warming up in their icy whites. Later in the first, UNLV at the 1-yard line, Brumfield hands it off to the Chuck Wagon. Too easy. UNLV up 14-zip. Rebels defense swarming Jake Haener early. Adam Plant Jr., his second sack of the season. The Rebels defense would hold the Bulldogs to kick a 25-yard field goal, and Fresno State trails 14-3. 32 seconds left in the first half, and the Bulldogs are barking back. Haener to Eric Brooks, and Fresno State trails 14-9 at the half. Brumfield was a little shaken up in the second quarter, but he comes back out to open up the third with this. Quick pass to Tyreek Collins, and the senior is gone. 80 yards to the house. The Rebels take a 21-9 lead. But later in the third, Jake Haener and Jalen Cropper start heating up the Jake and Jalen show. Bulldogs barking 21-16. 3:47 left to go in the third. Haener to Cropper again, and the Bulldogs steal the lead 22-21. Haener opens up the fourth again with a bomb to Cropper, and the Bulldogs take a 29-21 lead. The Rebels are fighting back. The freshman quarterback Cam Friel would go in for Doug Brumfield, drops a 44-yard dime to Steve Jenkins. That would later set up this. Rebels at the 6-yard line. Friel fakes the handoff, tosses it to Courtney Reese, who says, "See ya!" The Rebels are back in this. UNLV going for 2, trying to tie it up, but no dice. UNLV trails 29-27. 9:56 left in the fourth. Haener throws it deep. The ball intended for Eric Brooks, but he's picked off by Phillip Hill. And we're seeing some deja vu from week 1, Phillip Hill's sideline pick against Eastern Washington. And yeah, you know we got that sideline Sally too. Gutierrez would later kick a 30-yard field goal to put UNLV ahead 30-29. The anxiety, the emotions in this game, my goodness. 6:30 to go in the fourth, and Haener would throw his 4th touchdown pass of the second half to, of course, his guy Cropper. Rebels trying to answer back, but Friel would be hit and the ball is loose. Fresno State's Kwame Jones recovers the fumble. The Bulldogs would later kick a field goal and finish on top 38-30 as UNLV falls to 0-4 this season.
Here's more from the Rebels in Fresno.
We did a good job of getting to the red zone and everything, but we got to execute and get more than 3 points. We got to get 7 because you think about it, a couple times we got to the red zone, it changes the game. Got to execute. Had some big plays, but I felt like I could have made those plays bigger. But the offensive line did a great job tonight. Quarterbacks did a great job. And I want to shout out to the receivers, too. They stepped up big tonight. I love all my guys. Sad that we didn't get the outcome we wanted, but we did pretty well as an offense and executing and everything. And I just feel like, we got some big strides to take still as a team. And this team is still very young, so it's a lot of growth.
Hi, Coach. Welcome into the RebZone. So today's Sunday. If I say that you guys played last night, that's my bad. That's my lack of sleep. You guys play on Friday. These Thursday, Friday games, they get into your head. I was looking for College game day on Friday morning. No joke.
Yeah, no, change days, get used to certain things. You got to be ready for them.
I don't know what day it is. Tomorrow's Monday, so at least we know that.
Correct.
Want to start with the Chuck Wagon rolling on Friday night in Fresno. But I more want to talk about the O-line and the improvement and growth you saw from the O-line on Friday.
Yeah, I thought they did a nice job. They had a good week of prep going into it. We've obviously had some really tough opponents we faced. So I think that we talked about this early in the season, what can you get from playing really good opponents and 3 top 25 teams? Well, you got to come together fast. You get to see some good opponents and you get to find out exactly what you can get better at and be real critical yourself against quality opponents right away and go back to work each week. So we made some changes in the lineup a little bit this week. We'll probably continue to do that to find out exactly where that gel can happen at. But I thought they did a nice job blocking Chuck up front. We got to shore up some protection issues we've got. That's for sure at the top of our list. But each week you got a chance to get better with the guys in the trenches, especially when you're this young and inexperienced.
When Chuck is rolling and he's bringing that juice and energy, what kind of effect does that have on your football team?
Well, momentum is a huge piece of our game. And I think, when we bring a physical component like we want to be in our identity and you get the run game going, it can be demoralizing. It can be really, for the other team, it can be really uplifting for yours. When it's a physical sport. And I think that when the demands are met like that, it's exciting, man. So, again, that's what we want to be. There's a lot of that within our offense collectively, albeit play action or screens or run game, where we want to be a physical piece across the field. So it's good to see Chuck get rolling and kind of catch back up from where he's continued to show us in week 1.
All right, Coach, let's talk about your quarterbacks. Another strong performance from Doug. I know he's been a little banged up, but what maturity and what fight are you seeing from Doug 4 weeks into the season now?
Well, both guys. I mean, unfortunately, we're in infant stages at quarterback, and we've got a quarterback carousel going on right now that's a piece of why some of the chemistry and consistencies are happening. And it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're injured and banged up and tough. And Doug and Cam both toughing it out in many regards. It was good to see that, but there comes a point too where you got to make sure that that you're not putting guys in jeopardy and you're not out there and can minimize what you need to get done effectively. So that was a little bit last week too. So both those guys are tough and resilient, but we got to get some more consistency going on there, hopefully, and get that rolling.
We saw that no flinch attitude from Cam when he went in for Doug, that calm demeanor you talk about. In your eyes, what's the biggest leap Cam made on Friday night?
I don't know if there's one huge thing that stands out. I think that from the week he started versus Iowa State to this week, and just that, maybe just he knew what to expect. It wasn't the first snap, and I think that's really big. It's just you finally get it out of your system and realize football again, and then everything's bigger and stronger and faster. And as soon as that adjusts with you, you go back to follow some of your normal fundamentals in quarterbacking. And I think we saw him get into the game and again, not flinch.
Just want to highlight one guy on defense. Phillip Hill, the junior safety, has been balling out. 22 tackles, 1 sack, 2 interceptions this season. How is he getting better each week with you guys?
Well, his production is speaking for itself. He's going each day and coming in and preparing himself physically and mentally and emotionally the right way. You can see that. And then he's been very intentful with that since he's been back with us. And it's good to see, because it's good for everyone else to see as well that what he's putting in, he's getting out. And he's another guy a little banged up. We're gonna hopefully have him cleared up this week. Hopefully for this week. But he's been great for us.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to watch. Well, coming up next, we sit down with 6-year senior tight end Giovalu, who says he's kind of a quiet guy on this team, but shows his leadership in his work ethic and how he plays. We'll hear from him next on why he's impressed with the freshmen and sophomores on the team.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
Senior tight end Giovalu has been at UNLV for a minute, 6 years now. He's grown tremendously on and off the field, seeing not only this football program transform, but his life too. Gio tells us why he wanted to return to UNLV for his 6th season and why the future is bright for the Rebels under head coach Marcus Arroyo.
I want to win. It's always been my #1 goal. Part of the reason why I came back for 6 years because me, Chuck, and Julio always told each other when we first got here, he said we got to turn this thing around. So that's kind of what we want to do. We want to turn the thing around. You know, even though we're 0-3, hey, what's wrong with going 9-3? We can still do it.
Gio has seen the UNLV football program transform over the past 6 years, but his life has also changed too, becoming a father to his son Giovanni Jr.
It actually changed me a lot. I had to, you know, a lot of stuff I was doing, like, you know, being out with your friends all the time, and, you know, it changes everything. You have to, for everything you do, you have to think, okay, well, what can my son get out from this? Or, you know, I can't just, let me go get something to eat, because then I have to pack him up and bring him in with me. So, you know, it changes a lot, but it's actually been one of the best things that happened to me.
But Gio isn't the only dad on the team. He says it's been fun to see his best friend, Charles Williams, also become a dad this year.
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny. We're always talking about, we can set up play days. You know, me and Chuck have been knowing each other for 6 years. We were roommates as freshmen. And, you know, my son's about to be 3, and he just had his baby, so there's stuff I can tell him, like, to prepare for, and stuff like that, that he'll come and tell me, like, yeah, she's going through this. I'll be like, yeah, I remember when baby Gio was going through that, you know, just try and give him tips. It's kind of funny.
Gio tells me he's impressed with the maturity and resiliency he's seeing from the young guys on the team as they continue to build chemistry this season.
I would say I'm proud of, especially because this is a young team. You know, guys are resilient to be that young. I know when I was a freshman and stuff like that, I wasn't always, you know, a hard worker and stuff like that. So seeing these younger guys get it going, you know, just hats off to the coaches that get them going like that, because I know when I was younger, I wasn't really, you know, the hardest worker or nothing like that. So, you know, I've seen a lot of good stuff out of these guys.
And after 6 years at UNLV, Gio tells me he can see the change in culture and believes the team has a bright future under head coach Marcus Arroyo.
Definitely. You know, the only way is up. When you're 0-3, the only way is up. Can't really get any worse. But I would say, like, you know, when these core guys he has now, when they get older and it's their time to lead, they'll be under him for 4 years, and they'll see how he wants to run things and how the program should be ran. And those guys will know what it looks like, and they'll be able to bleed it on to the younger guys. Like, you know, that doesn't go here. Like, you have to work hard and, you know, get in your playbook, extra dark hours and stuff like that.
Coach, Gio says he's a quiet leader on this team, but what were your conversations like with him when you guys were talking about him coming back for his 6th year?
Well, I mean, quiet leading is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Quiet leaders and introverts can lead just as well as anybody else. And so I think they all learned that when we first got together. I think me and Joe talked after the season. It was, you know, more or less what he wanted to do, what he felt like he wanted to do with his life. Did he feel like another year would be something would be beneficial to him as a man and as an athlete and with his guys. And we met at the same point and said, hey man, we'd love to have you. There's a ton left. I think there's some football left in you and some things we can help with, we can help each other with. And so it was a good conversation.
Yeah, I love all the maturity and leadership I'm seeing from all the dads on your team. Such great guys, though, Coach. Next, we come up with the best part of the show, I think. UNLV sports dietitian Nicole Kiley, my girl, who is one hard-working lady. Respect for Nicole and her team as we got the chance to follow her along on this Fresno State road trip and see how she fuels the Rebels.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
It's It's really eye-opening to travel with the UNLV football team and see the army it takes to play on the road. This week, I got to shadow UNLV's sport dietitian Nicole Kiley as we dive into the science and data of what the Rebels need to be eating and drinking to perform at their best.
Right now, we've already done the prep work. They're strong, they're fast, they know how to play ball. It's bringing all those things together, making sure they don't get injured, making sure it's sustainable, making sure they're recovering well, and they stay bought in. So as performance staff, that's our role, is like, keep them healthy, keep them strong, keep them confident, right?
Nicole Kiley came to UNLV in August of 2017 with a work ethic unlike any other. I tried to shadow her this week, but she's just too fast, too talented at what she does. In fact, Nicole has been instrumental in the growth of sports nutrition at UNLV.
It's grown tremendously. You know, in the beginning, it was a small, what we call fueling station in athletics, a little grab-and-go fridge, really to just kind of increase access. And as you can see now, it's transformed into student-athlete-only dining halls, fueling stations, expanded team members, right? So we have more personnel, and we're just able to have a much more customized approach, and the athletes feel it. It's built into their services. So we've greatly enhanced student-athlete wellness, student-athlete holistic services, and that I'm proud of. I love enhancing the student-athlete experience.
So what did the Rebels eat on this Fresno State road trip?
So the goal of our night before game day meal, which we call Friday night meal, is a very yummy meal. Large buffet, high in protein, carbohydrate, fat, lots of antioxidants. We let the guys kind of go to town and self-regulate in that way. As we get closer to game time, we prioritize the nutrients. We don't really want high-fat, high-fried foods as we get close to game time. That slows digestion, and our priority nutrients are carbohydrate and some protein. We want to protect muscle tissue. So our pregame meal is a little bit more simple. You're going to use the pasta with marinara sauce in lieu of the Alfredo, right? You're going to use the simple rice. You're going to use baked potatoes instead of a rich mashed potato. So similar items, but differently prepared in order to speed digestion, make sure that they're comfortable, make sure that they feel locked and loaded.
And when it comes to hydrating the team when playing in hot conditions, Nicole says the secret is in the special juice.
We've customized each guy. They know how much they need. They know the sweet spot. And so we're really targeting from a hydration standpoint that each of those guys are staying on pace during the game. So you'll see me today really targeting specific people. I have this little concoction that they know the bottle I'm holding is the special juice. You know, it's the special juice. And they look at me like, oh God, her again. But they know, and they know when they're feeling tight, they reach for it. And so we have a few different beverages and flavors depending on what they like, but there's a science behind it, and we implement that.
It's clear UNLV football has enhanced their sports nutrition as the Rebels look bigger, faster, and stronger this year. Nicole says that's thanks to Coach Arroyo.
He said, I don't want to just say that we feed the guys and we have a great nutrition program. I want to actually do it. Just throwing money around and giving food and stocking fueling stations ain't it. Right? We want detail, we want customization. We want to be thinking 3 steps ahead, right? And so when we recruit someone on, we're thinking about what they're going to look like in 3 years, right? We're developing plans, and we're being intentional in our approach. He's very detail-oriented. He notices everything, and I appreciate that. I don't know if you know this, but he graduated with an exercise science degree. So it's a personal passion, I think, as well as something he values professionally. And so that helps me. I feel that helps me because he cares. And so when I say, hey, coach, we need to do that, we need this, he gets it.
The Rebels are preparing for an undefeated UTSA team that rallied back from a 21-point deficit, beating Memphis on the road this weekend. The Rebels will be looking for their first win of the season at the Alamo Dome, and I will be looking for my cowboy boots. We'll be right back.
You're watching the RebZone Sports Show on Fox 5.
All right, y'all, we are packing up for Texas. Coach, Don't be surprised if I show up in San Antonio with a hat and boots on. That's right, the Rebels are getting ready to face an undefeated UTSA team in San Antonio on Saturday for a 3 p.m. kickoff. The Roadrunners just beat Memphis on the road yesterday, completing their largest comeback in school history. UTSA would rally back from a 21-point deficit to tie up the game at 28 with the help from their junior running back, Sincere McCormick. They iced the game with a field goal to take a 31-28 dub over Memphis, and they'll be riding that undefeated energy this week, getting ready for UNLV at the Alamo Dome on Saturday. Coach, the last time I was in the Alamo Dome, TCU was down 31-0 at halftime, and then we beat them in triple overtime. So I'm undefeated in the Alamo Dome.
Me too.
Are you excited for this week, Coach, coming off that Fresno State performance?
Yeah, I am. I'm excited just for another week of work with our guys, man. They started to turn this thing in the right direction in regards to mindset, culture, and preparation. Each week, we've really been strict with it, and I'm excited to get back out there tomorrow with you guys.
What improvements do you want to see from your guys this week? What leaps do you want to see this week?
I want to keep building off what we've done that was good. I want to keep building off start fast and communication and running the football and stopping the run and more explosive plays last week and improve our protection. Special teams keep coming along. I'll slow down the pass game. I want to do it all, man. I do. That wish list isn't something that's too big to handle for us. They're all pieces that lend themselves to small pieces that make up the difference in a loss and a win and a loss. So they all matter. These guys know that. I'm excited to get back in here. They had a good run today as a team and good mindset. So I'm excited to see them here when we get back rolling.
All right, Coach, I'm wearing my cowboy boots. You'll see me on the plane with my
Yeah, you know I got mine.
I'm like, are you going to wear your cowboy boots?
I wore them last week. You saw them.
So funny. All right, Coach, we'll see you tomorrow, which is Monday. Don't let me forget.
Sounds good. See you
Good
guys.
night. Take care.
Thanks for watching Fox 5 News. Watch us live wherever you are on our mobile, on our streaming news app. And you can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.